Welcome to MACE Live TV. This is MACE Live TV, but we're talking about the MACE Manifesto. This is part 3 of the MACE Manifesto. The MACE Manifesto is off the press, folks. Hot off the press as of the latter part of last week, right? And you do yourself a favor, especially if you're a teacher or an administrator, buy you one of these MACE Manifestos. It's the politically incorrect, irreverent, and scatological examination of what's wrong, of what is wrong, I should say, in American public education. Mr. Haynes, he and I are the authors. I'm Dr. John Trotters and Mr. Norris Haynes. This is Mr. Robinson and Mr. J.B. Stanley, Mr. Michael Robinson. We're at the MACE office, and the day is the 24th of November, that's right, 2014. And we're excited about the book, folks. It's been in the works for a long time, actually.
Yeah, long time coming.
Long time coming. It's over 600 pages, and it's about 200 photos in this book right here. Mr. Halliburton, I talked to him today, Attorney Halliburton. He says, a gripping, riveting read. This book is a powerful read. I mean, we just tell it just like it is about what goes on in American public education. I was looking on the internet, and I actually wrote an article last night about Edmund Heatley. You know, he was Clayton County superintendent. We warned them not to hire him, remember?
That's right.
We picketed that day in DeKalb County, pouring down rain. Somebody called us up, please picket Clayton County. They're about to hire Edmund Heatley out of Chino Valley, California. We knew he was controversial out there.
That's right.
He'd only been a teacher for 2 years. So we went straight down Jonesboro Road in DeKalb County, showed up in Clayton County. We're all on the local news, Atlanta news that night. We had picket signs out there telling them there's going to be a big mistake. In fact, we were looking at this a while ago and got right here. Hey, Alika, are you stupid? She was chairman of the board at the time, right?
That's right.
And they didn't keep him too long because he was one of the most controversial superintendents in Clayton County. And you know, I've known about 10 or 12 of them, haven't I?
That's right.
And I'm telling you, he was the most unpopular I'd ever seen in my life. And I think he thought he was going to get that job out there in Berkeley. It was all in the newspapers in San Francisco and Berkeley, and they were quoting me from the teachersadvocate.com and from GeorgiaTeachersSpeakOut.com. And I was all in these San Francisco and Berkeley papers talking about how horrible he was as a superintendent of Clayton County. He didn't get the job out there, okay? And he ended up in Bermuda. That's another country. Wow. That's not even in the Caribbean. It's in the Atlantic, due east of North Carolina, where you're from, Mr. Robinson, right? At Cape Hatteras, a few miles out, you got Bermuda. You know, they wear the Bermuda shorts with sports coats like this.
That's right.
That's where we get that Bermuda shorts name from. And I wrote an article, said, oh, devastation's fixing to occur in Bermuda. Put it up, GeorgiaTeachersSpeakOut.com, and they were quoting again our publications, our online publications, out in the Bermuda News, and they got one called the Gazette, something else, the Royal Gazette. You know that man lasted, he hadn't even been out there about 3 months, he was already putting in for a superintendency down in New Orleans. Wow. They found out about it. They were pissed out there in Bermuda. Wow. I think he resigned right before he got the axe. I read what one official said, oh, he would have been fired. But it says it's a moot point. So he resigned, I think, April the 11th. Took the job like the 13th of September. Now you know where he is?
Where?
He's out in Compton, California, head of PR, personnel. And again, the Compton Democrats. JB, you like that, the Compton Democrats out there, the online publication. Last night, who they quoting again? Moi. Yeah. Moi, they're quoting me again. They don't like him out there either.
Wow.
It reminds me of that school principal was up in Sequoia area of DeKalb County. They were trying to get him to go down to southwest DeKalb, where we'd been picketing big time, especially we opened up in '96 out there. We did that famous pumpkin picket October 31st, and we got a lot of that stuff in the book, Wayne Glades. Man, that was a wild picket, and that principal was transferred not long after that. They were trying to get this guy to come down. He said, nope. They wanted him to take the day. He said, I ain't going down there. That MACE is down there. Once they get after you, they don't ever let you go, right?
I heard that.
So I guess that Heatley thinks we still following him. Yeah. We following him from California to Georgia, from Georgia to trying to go back to California to Berkeley, and then to Bermuda. We're following him everywhere. Now he's in Compton, and we still following his ass.
That's right.
Because that's what we do. You know, if you're All right, I don't even. Let me just leave that alone right now. Okay, let me leave that one alone. Let's get back to this book, folks. We were talking to a couple came in from Columbus, Georgia, right?
Right.
And I told them it's all in there. I said, we explain it, we break it down. These search firms, like the one I won't name the firm, but I did in the article I wrote, right? They had it where they said he has to give us a survey, and while he was in Bermuda, it went up from 23 to 93% or something like some wild figure about the positive feelings of the local people toward public education. The people of Bermuda said we're not aware of any kind of surveys ever done, right? So we say that search firms are pimps.
That's right.
The attorneys in the search firm are the pimps. We say they got too many sluts, pimps, and bitches running our public schools.
That's right.
The sluts are the superintendents who would jump from one school board bed to the next. They just go, it doesn't matter, they're about to be in California, they end up in Oklahoma. If they get more money in another place or have a little more power, because superintendents love power, and like we say in the book, they love folks to be kissing their ass, right?
Exactly.
Then they'll jump to that school board bed in another part of the country, just for a little bit more money and a little bit more power. They sluts. Right. They're just like, well, we need to go to national search. There ain't no such thing as a national search. You think these little search firms, I can name the names, and these attorneys who act like search firms, they act like pimps, what they act like. Right. And then when they get the superintendent in there, they try to protect the superintendent. They want him to be able to do everything he wants. So they're supposed to be called school board attorneys, but they're really superintendent's attorneys, aren't they?
Exactly.
That's what they really are, the superintendent's attorneys. Folks, we tell it all in the MACE Manifesto right here. This book right here is hot. Now, we started to go with more of a traditional type of a publisher. But you know what they wanted us to do, Mr. Haynes?
Cut the book.
They want us to tone it down, didn't they?
Exactly.
They want us, it's edgy. Even right now it feels sharp, doesn't it? This is an edgy book. We don't tone nothing down in MACE. We don't smooth the edges. I said, no, give it back to us. Give it back to us. I said, we'll publish it. I said, moan back, right? Moan back. I said, listen, there ain't a boring bone in my body. My body's full of creativity, right? Created a teachers union out of nothing. Not a single member. Yeah. For-profit teachers union. The only one in the country, folks. No one's ever heard of it. I said, now why I want to do a non-profit union? I work for one of them. People are lazy when you're non-profit.
Right.
But when you set up something like Chick-fil-A or Goldman Sachs or whatever, I mean, Landmark Dodge here. He's supposed to be Mr. Big Volume, right? They sell more Dodge. Old Fred Belante. I've been knowing Fred about 30 years. Right out here in Clayton County, right?
Clayco.
Yeah, Clayco. All these places, they're for profit. Ford Motor Company's for profit, right?
Right.
Name me something. Microsoft. Boy, we tear him a new asshole, don't we? Old Gates. We talk about the gates of hell have prevailed against the local control of public education, folks.
Right.
Melinda and Bill. I think Melinda might be driving them on Bill, right?
Exactly.
She says she wants more tests. But they don't want any tests like that, these standardized tests, where everybody's cheating on them, by the way. They don't want them at the Lakeside School where Bill went to school and where their children went to school.
That's right.
He and the Allen guy, co-founder of Microsoft, they went to the Lakeside Academy or Lakeside School, whatever they call it. In fact, the mothers raised enough money in 1968, they had a computer lab. They talk about that in Outliers. Malcolm Gladwell, one of his many good books. I was reading about it the other day. Some people might be brainiacs. The richest, the smartest man in America, was kicked out of a couple of schools. And he talks about it in the book. One of them because his mama, they were fairly poor, didn't fill out the financial aid stuff, right? So they kicked him out. Another school because he had a car, his brother was driving his car and the motor fell out, or the transmission fell out, and he couldn't get to there at 8 o'clock in the morning, about an hour or so away. He went and asked them, would they please change his classes to the afternoon class, and they wouldn't do it. They said, well, you made F's. He went to, I believe he went to, he had a scholarship, Reed College, the same college that Steve Jobs went to. Same one. His mom and dad didn't want him to go there because it was a real rich school, Reed College. But anyway, the Gates, they want more standardized tests. They think they know about that. We have a whole section in here called Knowing the Difference Between Shit and Shinola, where we basically talk about Bill and Melinda. They don't know the difference between shit and Shinola when it comes to public education. Yet they're running public education right now, aren't they?
That's right.
They're driving it all.
That's right.
Bill Gates put out, seemed like I read the other day about $200 million. He gave about $11 million to NEA and AFT. and it should have given something to us, probably, right? We still would have told them like it is, though, folks. Nah, we're going to tell the truth no matter what. You know that number thing.
Jesus set you free.
You know, I might have done the Passover at chapter.
That's it.
You know about doing that Passover, right? Sycamore side, pass it on by, right? But no, we listen. This book right here, I'm gonna go through some of that. Look at what a couple state representatives in here saying. You know what? One of them right here, the Honorable Sandra G. Scott, Georgia State Representative, right here. John and Norris are politically incorrect, but they are absolutely correct on public education.
That's it. Absolutely correct.
I like this one. James Gunny Yon says, the classroom educator of my life was changed by Dr. Trotter and MACE, and now we have the MACE Manifesto, the tour de force of public education. He's a Latin teacher. I think he likes it. Tour de force. Yeah. Tour de force, right? Tour de force. But just a number of them. Here's one. The guy's a school board member right here. And he said, Dr. Trotter, Mr. Haynes, been fighting for teachers for years, and as a son of 2 Georgia school teachers, both of them MACE members too, by the way, and a vice chairman of a Georgia public school board, I know the importance of the message of the MACE Manifesto. That's Attorney J. Anderson Ramey. Look over here, let's say Mark Harris. I spent my career as a teacher and as an administrator in 2 urban school systems. Dr. Trotter and Mr. Haynes are right on target in the MACE Manifesto. This book, folks, I like this guy. From the educator's perspective, the MACE Manifesto is the Bible in public education. Bo T. Oates in Columbus, Georgia. Got a lot of testimonies right at the beginning of the book. The book is broken down like this, okay? We got so many, you know, like start off with what in the hell is the MACE Manifesto, okay? And we talk about the authors. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, except to know you got about 10 pre-chapters, I call it, before you can get to the table of contents, right? And that's even after knowing the difference between shit and shinola, right? But you have, then you get into expounding theories, okay? So let us just tell you how things really work in public education. We have several chapters in here, about 20 or more, on expounding theories. Then you have part 2, explaining race. Subtitle, let us just get down to the brass tacks and discuss a subject that everyone else is afraid to broach. Chapter. Strong. 5 chapters. Yeah. 5 chapters on race. We break it down.
I don't love that.
People always say, well, race doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. We don't see race.
What the couple say today?
Everything's race in public schools.
Everything's race.
Everything is race in a public school system. Maybe not a private school. So when it comes to public schools, I mean, you might be living out in Montana, might not be about race. It might be all white folks, right?
That's it.
Might have a few Indians out there, Native Americans, I believe is the politically correct term, Native Americans. But if you're in the South or any kind of urban area, folks, it's about race. And we break it down, explain how it works. We explain when the transition starts to happen. We tell what takes place then, right?
That's right.
We talk about how discipline is broken down, when how it began to be broken down during the days of desegregation, and why it broke down. No one wants to touch those chapters.
No.
Woo! It's hot. You touch that, it'll burn your fingers. Yeah. Now, let's go to 3, part 3. This is called exhaling rants. So we had expounding theories, then we had explaining race. Now we got exhaling rants. It says we can't neatly categorize everything, but if you would just pull up a chair and read some of the rants, you'll recognize the ring of truth, and it says, and you, even if you're a good Baptist or a good Methodist or a good Presbyterian, will be saying, damn it, they're right. Yeah. They know we telling the truth in here. Yeah. You know, like I've seen a chapter right here, chapter 36. Spoiled, rotten children. What is missing is the Board of Education.
That's right.
And if we were the devil, chapter 37, if we were the devil. I like this one down here. The gates of hell, we mentioned that a while ago, prevailed against the local control of public education. Rants and fulminations against Bill Gates and Antichrist of American public education. I'm just skipping around. Principals with no principles. This new generation of school administration has been on evaluation and intimidation, and is really full of defecation. That's a nice word for shit, right?
That's it.
All right. All right, that's we got expose and miss first, part 4. Then we get over there eviscerating accreditation. That's part 5, right? And then we got some other art. There we do a fiction thing and just talk about accreditation in general. We have a couple of chapters here specifically on SACs, and I think one of the rant sections, and also back the appendices, okay? Part 6 is exhibiting appendices, 26 excellent appendices. I mean, you need to ruminate on them, cogitate on them, and you'll be reading this book, especially if you're a teacher. You'll be saying, damn it, they're right. That's exactly what goes on.
Exactly.
Where's that one in here we said we got too many bitches, here it is. Too many pimps, sluts, and bitches are running our public schools. People know we're telling the truth.
That's right.
The principals are the bitches, and we're talking about the female bitches too. We know the males are the bitches, right?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, folks, these superintendents come in here with a $300,000 or $400,000 salary. That's what they are now, with all your perks and everything. They don't want to call salary, right? The $10,000 or $5,000 car allowance and all that kind of stuff. Some of them want drivers, right?
That's right.
Remember that guy came in Clayton County wanted drivers.
That's
In
right.
Atlanta, they had
That's
drivers.
right.
And then they all come to town with rope burns around their neck. Some of them still got the ropes on their neck, JB. You know why? They're trying to fire their ass in the other school systems. Just about every one of them I see, well, didn't Atlanta hire this lady from Texas? Didn't it look like she was on thin ice out there?
Exactly.
And they hired her, and they all come to town, they think they got the latest savior. They found the Messiah.
Yeah.
They found the anointed one who's going to raise the test scores. We've been saying, look, there's old Tom Bear right there, systematic cheating right there. We got several pictures in this book, at least about 4, I think, on different occasions out there picking about systematic cheating. One of them goes back to almost the time we started MACE. It was at the old Atlanta Central office up on Pryor Street. And we have up there, they got a sign that says standardized test, miracle growth, question mark. We've been knowing with school, tests go along, boom. The law of the large numbers does not allow test scores to go up like that. We talk about that in the book as well. It just doesn't happen. When Mr. Haynes was a real young man, we were driving by Capitol View Elementary School up in Atlanta, right? And I said, Maurice, you know that school where the test scores went up big time last year. He said, oh, really? I said, yeah. I said, you know how it happened? He said, how? I said, they cheated like hell. I said, I mean, folks, that's just what happened. We've been talking about it. And then we'll see that stuff about the Chamber of Commerce. What are they, Georgia? Whatever we go to.
Blue Ribbon Committee and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, that's Atlanta. They try to cover up the stuff, right? But what's that group, Georgia Partnership? They were doing a bus tour, and they were going to Parks Middle School, right?
That's right.
Parks Middle School. They were so impressed.
That's right.
They're so impressed that the test scores went up.
That's right.
That's a scary place to pick. We picked it down a few times down in the hood.
Right.
That's that's in the hood of the hood, right?
Right, exactly.
That's in the hood of the hood.
That's right.
I'm telling you, if you get in the hood, okay, but you go into the hood of the hood, Parks and Windsor Drive, right off University Avenue, right? Test scores went up. How many of them are standing trial right now, including the principal?
A lot of people.
Right now for Parks Middle School.
That's
Some
right.
of them are cooperating with the state.
That's right.
And they would just systematically cheat. One of them, his assistant principal, I think, told how they'd cut the test thing and open up, take the sheets out. And that's the one that said they were having correction parties out in Douglas County, which now it was going to not implicate, but to get involved the DA out in Douglas County, right?
Exactly.
Folks, just systematic cheating right and left. Because why? The standardized test has become the new god of public education. Everybody's worshiping, bowing down to the standardized test. The standardized test tests 2 different things: verbal linguistics and math analytical. 2 types of intelligences. And we talked about Howard Gardner from the graduate school at Harvard University, Graduate School of Education. He has come up with 7 or 8 different kind of intelligences, like musical, interpersonal, like, you know, some people have the ability to interact and know how to get along with people. They cite Bill Clinton a lot in that. He's supposed to be, not many people are geniuses on like 4 different levels. And some of them who are really up here in the math, analytical, whatever, they can't hardly talk to anybody. They're so introverted. But he's like that, but he can go around and make you, I met him back in the 80s. It made me feel like I was the only person in the room. And I was at the Omni when we talked, walking down the hall, acting like he'd known me for years, right? Some people are good at it, okay? That's one kind of intelligence. Got kinesthetic athletic. I'd say Michael has that because he was a great athlete in high school and college all through his life, okay? And